today, Sarah. I am going to turn it over to you for a prayer.
Thank you. Inviting everyone to place their hands on their heart and tune in to the thought and the vibration of gratitude. Grateful and thankful to join here together today. Grateful and thankful for the speakers and the music and everything that will be shared today. Offering up all blocks to the messages, offering up our judgments, offering up our fears, offering up all of the distractions in our mind, and declaring that we are open to the messages, we are inspired, we're hearing the perfect thing in the perfect way for our awakening and for our healing right here and right now, and it's already done. And we are sharing the benefits of this inspiration, of this growth, of everything that is being shared with us today with everyone, because we are one with them. And in gratitude, we allow this time to be, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. That was beautiful. All right. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our musical inspiration for today. And there she is. I didn't see her. Okay. Hey, Jennifer. All right. So Jennifer Paskow has been with us a number of times. We love to hear her beautiful music. She is an award-winning singer and songwriter on a mission to uplift and empower children and their families. The theme of self-love and acceptance weaves beautifully through her music as well as through her classes, workshops, and one-on-one healing sessions. Holding an inner aspiration to bring more love into the world, Jennifer created a self-love and empowerment program called My Radiant Heart. She also co-facilitates Let Your Voice Be Heard, a creative empowerment circle for girls and women to express their authentic selves in a safe and supportive sisterhood. Jennifer has been engaged in energetic healing light work and building revolutionary communities of healing and transformation for the past decade. And welcome back. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hello. Thank you for having me. It's always so lovely to be here with all of you.
Jennifer?
Yes.
We aren't properly hearing the guitar.
You aren't.
I think your settings are not quite right.
Oh no. Sorry, 1 second. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Do you want to I'm trying to look here. Let's see.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time. Don't worry.
Here we are. Sorry. Okay. I think okay, here we go. Can you hear? Can you hear the guitar?
You have to play it a little. Not really, no.
Do you hear it now?
A little bit. No.
Here we go. This.
It's a little bit, yeah.
It's live. This is the live performance audio, so it should work here. All right. I think this is gonna be the best I can do for now.
Okay.
That's the live. All right. Tell me if you hear it. Can you hear the guitar?
Sort of.
Let me lower it to the thing. Do you hear it now?
Yeah, a little. Yeah, it's a little muffled and a little wonky, but
oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Do you want me to? Sorry.
I would say just do the best you can. Don't worry.
Okay, sorry. Okay, we'll sit. We'll sit. You are welcome here. All of you. Even the parts you feel are broken, they are welcome too. Love is everywhere. You can't lose. Every word you've spoken, with every path you choose. Oh, 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 oh. You are welcome here. All of you. Even the parts you feel are broken, they are welcome too. They are welcome too. You are welcome here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jennifer. All right. So now I get to introduce kironJ. She too has been here many times, one of our favorite speakers. She's an A Course in Miracles teacher based in the UK who has a passion for an experiential approach to studying the Course. And she loves to help others find their own relationship with the love that flows through this profound spiritual teaching, A Course in Miracles. kironJ offers workshops, classes, and one-to-one support. In fact, she has a class coming up on Saturday. We'll tell you about that. And she has worked with other teachers such as Nook Sanchez and Corinne Zupko. She deeply appreciates the gifts of collaboration, finding such enjoyment and healing as spirit works through them. kironJ and I met in 2019 when we were both speakers at the UK A Course in Miracles conference. And this has led to our friendship. And we've done many episodes of my podcast together and other things together. And she has a class coming up on Saturday. And as I said before, I know we'll tell you about it before we're done here today. So I'm going to turn it over to kironJ.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. I do indeed have a class next Saturday, and it's titled Our Only Home. And today, I'm inviting us all into a healing around our experiences of home. Just as home is at the center of our lives, this healing is at the center of all our healing. If we fully heal our sense of home, we are fully healed. That's how powerful this healing is. So let's explore together. The practical application of this exploring will come near the end. And the more we can enter into this together, the more practical it will be. So let's support each other and dive in. Would you like to close your eyes and ask yourself, what does home mean to me? and open your eyes again. When I looked up homely, it gave cozy, snug, welcoming, friendly, comfortable, relaxed, warm, hospitable. Has this been your experience of home? Was your childhood home cozy, snug, welcoming, friendly, comfortable, relaxed, warm, hospitable? Possibly not. Think of your homes as an adult. Think of your current home. Has your experience of any of them been completely happy and peaceful and relaxed? It's likely that they haven't been. It's likely that there have been issues with things like money, concern about having enough to pay for the rent, utility bills, repairs, redecoration. And then there's the relentless need for housework, cleaning, clearing, gardening. It can feel burdensome, especially if you're working full time, you have young children, or you're not in the best of health. If you live with others, there can be conflicts about how the home is run, disagreements about financial priorities, levels of tidiness, and interpersonal conflicts can easily ruin the most luxurious of residences. If you live on your own, there can be loneliness, no one to talk to in the evening, no one to share the domestic responsibilities. And in any home, there can be problems with neighbours, fear of burglary, floods, fires, insurance wrangles. Has anyone here been totally free of such issues? I suspect not. Any situations like this means that our worldly home has not been truly happy and peaceful. A Course in Miracles is teaching that our worldly experiences of home couldn't possibly be truly happy and peaceful, because this world is not where we belong. We're simply not at home here. Deep down, we will always seem to be in some kind of self-imposed exile, no matter how much we try to persuade ourselves otherwise. Worldly homes are built on the unstable foundation of the ego. They are for bodies, for people, for individuals, and so for separation from our only true home in heaven, in God. Because they are for separation, ego homes will bring pain and alienation, sometimes disguised as illusions of peace and belonging. Here's a quote from the Course. We speak today for everyone who walks this world, for he is not at home. He goes uncertainly about in endless search, seeking in darkness what he cannot find. 1,000 homes he makes, yet none contents his restless mind. The 1,000 homes includes our special relationships with people, with places, with activities, with addictions. We try and find comfort and shelter in these things, but we can never find true comfort and shelter within a world that is home of the ego. Our true home is heaven, and it's not for bodies or people or individuals. It is for our true being as spirit. Heaven's nature is peace and unity. No issues possible. Totally issue free. The Course says it this way. In heaven, everything is clear and bright and calls forth one response. There is no darkness and there is no contrast. There is a sense of peace so deep that no dream in this world has ever brought even a dim imagining of what it is. Heaven is not a place nor a condition. It is merely an awareness of perfect oneness and the knowledge that there is nothing else, nothing outside this oneness, and nothing else within. Let's hear some of this again, replacing the word heaven with our true home. What does this sound like? What is your response when you hear this? In our true home, there is a sense of peace so deep that no dream in this world has ever brought even a dim imagining of what it is. Our true home is not a place nor a condition. It is merely an awareness of perfect oneness. A Course in Miracles is very clear that it is our choice. Do we wish to be at home in the world or at home in God? If we've chosen to shut out the memory of heaven, it will seem like the world is our only home and that there is no other choice. Do we wish to be a child of the ego or a child of God? If we've chosen to shut out God, the ego will seem to be our only choice. Do we wish to be a body or a mind? If we've chosen to shut down on the spiritual mind, the body will seem to be our only identity. These three questions, where am I at home? Whose child am I? What is my identity? They are all the same question. And so often we don't want to answer this question or even know there is a question to be asked. as the Course says. Here is the only home he thinks he knows. Here is the only safety he believes that he can find. So, we try and find a way to make worldly homes and body identification safe. We try and find comfort and security and belonging in a physical world where they can't be found. We try to find the right people to live with. And we try and change them if they don't live up to our expectations. You may have noticed how well that works. We try to find the right job to pay for a nice home in a nice, safe neighborhood, or find someone to live with who will have the right job to pay for these things. We move to a new home if the current home is troublesome, thinking a fresh start might be the answer. We try and make cozy, snug, welcoming, friendly, comfortable, relaxed, warm, hospitable be more than a passing moment or a far distant hope. The ego will either urge us to try harder to make the happy home be ours, or crush us with judgment that we don't have this happy home because we don't deserve it. Let's close our eyes and ask, how have I tried to make my worldly homes work, be safe, be comfortable? And let's open our eyes again. Even if we have a home that seems mostly peaceful and happy, it will be set within a world that isn't like that. And then it might seem like a haven. When I looked up haven, it gave retreat, shelter, sanctuary, place of safety, place of security, port in a storm. So even with a haven, there's difficulty. A place of safety implies there are places that are not safe. There will be an underlying awareness of threat. The troubles of the world could seep in to our haven. Perhaps through unfortunate happenings for the people we live with. All was well until my partner lost his job, had an affair, became sick, or my child, or me. Not in the plan, the ego plan of a happy house. And of course, there could be fear that we will lose this sanctuary and be cast out into the unhappy world. And there will be an underlying awareness that there are others who don't have the happy surroundings that we have. And this will bring guilt So there can't possibly be true peace, and we won't feel truly at home. On the other hand, heaven is for all, can't be threatened, no possibility of difficulty seeping in. There's no one in bad housing or homeless or suffering in any way. And it's in this peace and security and inclusiveness that we are really at home. Let's come to the course and the sublime teaching of lesson 182. I will be still an instant and go home. This world you seem to live in is not your home. And somewhere in your mind, you know that this is true. A memory of home keeps haunting you. A persistent feeling, sometimes not more than a tiny throb, at other times hardly remembered, actively dismissed, but surely to return to mind again. Can you identify with this? The lesson goes on. No one but knows whereof we speak, which means everyone knows. Yet some try to put by their suffering in games. They play to occupy their time and keep their sadness from them. Others will deny that they are sad and do not recognize their tears at all. Still others will maintain that what we speak of is illusion, not to be considered more than but a dream. Yet who in simple honesty, without defensiveness and self-deception, would deny he understands the words we speak? What do you do? Do you keep busy? Focus on the physical, maybe much of the time, and try and ignore the course's teaching that you're in self-imposed exile from your only home? Are we willing to ask the deep questions? Where am I at home? Am I a body or a mind? And now we come to the practical application of this exploring. The very good news is that when we are willing to remember that heaven is our only home, when we accept the healing of our minds and no longer desire specialness and separation, then our worldly homes can and will reflect the peace of heaven. That is very practical. This remembering, answering the deep questions, moving in this direction, having the willingness, is the only way we can find peace. A quote about this. And from forgiving thoughts, a gentle world comes forth with mercy for the Son of God, to offer him a kindly home where he can rest a while before he journeys on. The class next Saturday, March the 9th, is all about supporting each other to accept this healing and seeing our worldly homes transformed into reflections of heaven, kindly homes where we can rest a while during the process of healing and letting go of our resistance to our only home. So let's close with another quote from lesson 182. When you are still an instant, when the world recedes from you, when valueless ideas cease to have value in your restless mind, then you will hear his voice. So poignantly he calls to you that you will not resist him longer. In that instant, he will take you to his home, and you will stay with him in perfect stillness, silent and at peace, beyond all words, untouched by fear and doubt, sublimely certain that you are at home. This is how we remember our only home, holy instant by holy instant, each instant leading us step by step, increasing our willingness and motivation to choose healing. If we fully heal our sense of home, we are indeed fully healed. That's how powerful this healing is. So if you are interested in this healing, I would love to work with you next Saturday. And I hope this exploration has been useful in its own right. Thank you so much, Jennifer, and back to you.
Thank you, kironJ. Thank you. kironJ's work, her classes are a deep dive into A Course in Miracles. And so I do invite you to check out all the details for next Saturday's class. And in this moment, I'm going to invite everyone to place their hands on their heart. And let's take some deep breaths of love and gratitude here and just bring our attention in following what kironJ has so beautifully laid out for us. Just taking a moment. I know for me, I've been very watchful about how home, you can actually have a special relationship with your home, make of it a false idol, and look for things that the material world can never give us: the peace, the joy, the freedom, the harmony, the clarity, trying to find these things from a home, a house, a dwelling. So just looking at, do we have any kind of a special relationship with our home, looking for our home to somehow complete us or fulfill us? Do we work on it simply for the joy of it, or is it somehow an ego preoccupation, a false idol, a distraction? Because everything is symbolic. Everything is symbolic. I love to work in the garden. I love to do decorating. But when it becomes a false idol, when it becomes something that I feel identified with, when it becomes something that I'm looking to get a sense of myself from, then I've lost my way. So just looking, are there any aspects of your home where you might be having a special relationship or a false idol? And it's not that we have to give any of those things up, but simply be willing to have a different relationship to it. To relax the mind from the attachment, the identification, the projections, allowing ourselves to fully enjoy our home without making it into something to worship or something to have an aversion to, something to despise and complain about. Can we move it into the neutral zone? And if you're like me, enjoying gardening and decorating and things like that, having the enjoyment out of it without the identification. Letting all the things be neutral. Sometimes we can get so identified or attached to our possessions. Are there any possessions that without them we can't enjoy life? We can't be happy? Do we need that particular piece of jewelry or that particular piece of furniture? Have we given it so much value that it's way beyond neutral to us? So learning that distinction between enjoying our home, but seeing it for what it really is. A place to support our spiritual growth and our loving relationships. Moving into neutrality. Just looking at the places where maybe we've gotten carried away, we've gotten off the track. And while you're thinking about that, I'm going to invite Jennifer back to give us a song.
No such thing as a mistake. Everything is divine. You don't have to be perfect. Just look around and you will find. Perfectly imperfect is the way we're designed. Perfectly imperfect is the way we're designed. We are here to learn and grow. We are here to love and know. Perfectly imperfect is the way we're designed. Perfectly imperfect is the way we're designed. There'll be ups and downs that will take you for a ride. In a compass will be your guide that will never let you down. Perfectly imperfect is the way we're designed. Perfectly imperfect is the way we're designed. You don't need to doubt. You might be afraid. You don't need to worry. Just go out and play. There's no such thing as a mistake. Everything is divine. You don't need to be perfect. Just look around and you will find. Perfectly imperfect is the way we're designed. Perfectly imperfect is the way we're designed. We are here to learn and grow. We are here to love and know that perfectly imperfect is the way we're designed. Perfectly imperfect is the way we're designed. Perfectly imperfect is the way we're designed.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to do that thing we do here, which is we're going to go to a breakout. It's not very long, so you'll get a chance in the breakout to share what's come up for you, because that's the time that can be so healing for you. And people always tell me that. Thank you for the breakouts. So we're going to go to this short breakout and then come back for some more music and prayer. And here we go. While you're in the breakout, see if you can make sure everybody gets a chance to share, if they'd like to. Right. Okay. And where did Dove go? Let's see if we can get Dove back here. That would be great. Yeah, sorry. I always keep Dove here.
I didn't know how to keep them, so I'll ask you later.
Oh yeah, just make him take him
Oh,
out
I
of the.
didn't make him a co-host. That's what I need to do.
Yeah, you can do that, or you can just put him in his own room and then delete.
Oh, yeah, got it.
All right, thanks. Okay, so Jennifer, would you like to share something related to kironJ's talk?
Yes, I was thinking it was interesting. I was on a walk before this, and a friend of mine is like, she's kind of been homeless for a while, like just going from home to home, just not grounded, and she left me a message. And she was saying, because I was sharing with her that and she wants a boyfriend, she wants a husband, and she's looking for all that. And she said, we have to make the home first. We were talking about needing to make the home here, first. And I remember a long time ago when I really not desperately, but really wanted to like have a house of my own. And someone said, you become the home and your house is going to come. And I was thinking about, because I'm building a home right now. And I was like, oh, I'm really finding that space. So when you ask that question, what was home? It's just recently that I actually feel at home inside here. My whole life, I never felt at peace with myself, And I was thinking, I don't know if it just comes like as I have gotten older with the years, I just have gotten more intimate with myself. So I really appreciated your talk. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, I'll just mention that I don't know when it was a long time ago. I really got clear. Home is where I am. Home is where I am. Because when I was in my 20s, people would say, oh, are you going to go home for Christmas? And I'm like, no, I'm going to go to my parents' house. I would say that, and people would be like, oh, well, that's what I meant. I'm like, well, I don't live with my parents, so that's their home. and I really just got in touch with home is where my heart is, that's where I am. And following up on what Jennifer just shared, I had really about 6 years, I guess, maybe 7 years, where I was going from place to place. I think the longest I was in any place was I was in Hawaii for 11 months, in the same place for 10 months there. And Spirit really knew what it was doing, because I let go of so many attachments. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like moving around. I didn't like living out of suitcases. And people used to say all the time, God, you must love traveling so much. You're living the dream life. And I'd be like, yeah, it's your dream life. It's not mine. I just like to be in one place, focused on God, not having to think about arrangements or moving or traveling or any of that stuff. I don't want to have to furnish another place. I'm not interested in thinking about those things very much. But boy, did I let go of attachments. And that was such a help to me, because I had a bazillion attachments before that. And I learned to just be comfortable wherever I am. I learned to just really be grateful for what I have wherever I am. And it really shifted me. And that was so healing to my mind. I'm very, very grateful for that time. And one other funny thing I can share is that let's say I was at a restaurant or something, or I don't know, at a music club or whatever I was doing, and somebody would say, so where do you live? Or they'd say, where are you from? And I'd say, oh, I live in Kapa'a, up on the halfway up the mountain. And they'd say, no, where are you from? You're not from Hawaii, are you? And I'm like, oh, you mean, where was I born? And I'd say, oh, I was born in Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan. And they'd say, but is that where you normally live? And I'd say, no, I live here in Kapa'a. And they'd say, well, how long have you lived here? I said, well, I'm just living here for a while. And they're like, well, but where's your like real home? And I'd say, it's where I am. It's just where I am. And they're like, but where's your stuff? Where's your stuff? Like, and I'd say, why do you need to know where my stuff is? What difference does it make where my stuff is? I've got stuff here and here and here and here. Is that, it was just interesting to have that conversation over and over again. Where are you from? Where do you live? Where's your stuff? Boy, people were so committed to finding out that information. They're trying to ground me into some place that they can comprehend. It was interesting. And I would love to see what Dove has to say here. We got to get you unmuted, though.
First, really enjoyed and appreciate kironJ's opening, and the idea that our real home is heaven, and awareness of perfect oneness. I thought that was such a great way to introduce. I didn't realize you didn't do your session yet. It's next Saturday, I guess.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought that you already did it, but I guess you didn't. Okay.
No, she did the quantum counseling last week, and this is another class. Yeah.
All right. Very good. Okay. I was thinking of quantum counseling. Okay. So yeah, I thought that was a great way to ask people, are you really interested in feeling really at home, peaceful, calm, and recognize you have everything that you deserve, and that was such a great opening. As for myself, I've lived here in the same place for 26 years. I'm kind of like you, Jennifer. I have no desire to go anywhere, really. I think it has maybe something to do with my age. I'll be 84 soon. In my first prior to moving here, I was moving to a lot of different places, but finally I said, oh, this is home, and I had no desire to really leave. I don't even travel at all. You know, travel where? You know, I used to travel to the Course Miracle conferences. You know, that was traveling, and that's about it. But I feel you're right. Where you are is home. I also feel that I have taken on, at least in my later life, the idea that I'm in this world but not of it. I'm in this world but not of it. And I think that's a very peaceful place to be. I mean, that's my way of kind of handling the insanity of the world that we're in.
That's it. Yes. Beautiful. Sarah, would you like to share anything?
Sure. There's been a lot that's come up for me, but what I'm really thinking about currently is how, as when I was younger, when I first started this work and listening to you and everything, home fears around the home were like a big dominant theme for me, like things breaking, things going wrong. Could I even afford a home? And now 6 years later, we're in a home, and I can feel us expanding elsewhere. Like, I know we're not going to be here forever. And it just feels so much easier now. Like, housework doesn't feel as burdensome as it used to. I find more joy in it than I used to, but also, like, I know that it never ends. I know I'm never going to get to this point where it's all going to be perfect and I'm going to be satisfied, because that's not ever going to happen here in this world. And so I'm just kind of going with it and looking forward to what comes next. Like, I just have a sense we're going to be moving into a different home, a different place. And yeah, so that's my contribution to the conversation.
Thank you. Angela, would you like to share something?
Yeah, thank you, everyone. You know, the talk triggered so many different things for me. And I remember being at a one of my first like healing retreats with Jan Levanzant, where she simply said, like, if you were to just, I guess, just really become aware that in this moment, there's nothing you need. And it really hit me in that moment. Like, wow, I'm fully sustained in this moment. Everything else is paused and I'm completely sustained. I mean, my mind can flood in just a moment about what am I going to have for dinner at the retreat, you know, like, but it really hit me. And I feel like your talk, you know, brought attention to my humanness as the woman of this house that I'm in. And I am such a doer in the house. And so it, you know, and then I appreciate what Jennifer, what you brought in with the meditation about how, because the trappings of the ego gets you either way. Like, you're not, you're too much in your home, or you're letting it go to shambles, or so you can't win in the positioning, but just like, can you seek to let your joy radiate from you in your home? How can, and that's what I'm actually working on, because I feel it's a undeveloped access to the spiritual quality of beauty. So that's what I will share. Thank you.
Oh, I love that.
Lovely.
kironJ, final words.
Thank you. I found this focus on home to be so helpful. Yeah, I've done some traveling, and I spent 18 months with a little tiny suitcase on wheels and a relatively small rucksack on my back. And that was the entirety of my possessions, apart from a little tiny folder of paperwork that I left with my son. And I had nothing else. And I traveled for 18 months with no home. And that was the entirety of what I had. And it was an extraordinary experience. Yeah. totally changes the experience of home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and
Unlike me, I had 2 huge suitcases and 1 little one. You know.
right, okay. Yeah.
I'm not quite as
Minimalist, yeah, I know, very minimalist. But thank you very much for your focus on specialness in the home. That was a really helpful meditation. Thank you.
good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. All right, I'm going to make some announcements here, and then kironJ will. And yes, so I'll let kironJ tell you about her class on Saturday some more, and we'll put the link into the chat now. And just everybody loves her classes. They are a deep dive into A Course in Miracles and the practical application of it, truly understanding it, not just intellectually, but fully embracing and embodying what the truth is. And that is a whole different thing from understanding it intellectually. It is a whole different thing. And kironJ's experiential work with the group, and you also get 50% off a follow-up counseling session with her if you register for the class on Saturday. I have a class coming up on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. It's a 3-hour self-love workshop on Zoom. Also coming up, we have in May 2 beautiful in-person events. So one of them is my counseling training intensive. So this is open to anyone. We've had all kinds of people take it. We've had attorneys and accountants and investors, people who work with clients, grandparents who'd like to be able to have better relationships. It's about increasing your intuition and understanding how the mind works, appreciating our relationships more. And of course, it is a professional training program for those who are interested in becoming counselors, people who are coaches and therapists, and interested in adding more of a spiritual approach to their one-on-one things. We've had acupuncturists take it, all kinds of people have taken it, and homeopaths. So there's that. And that is in the middle of May for a week. And we follow that with Memorial Day, a weekend training, 4 days on how to create and lead workshops that make a difference. Right now, we've got extraordinary early bird specials with all kinds of bonuses, including the quantum counseling program that Dove and kironJ and I are a part of, with 16 total Course in Miracles teachers on how what we've learned as counselors from a Course in Miracles perspective, and in terms of healing and working at the level of the mind. So it's been a really beautiful, profound class so far. And Gary Renard is the teacher this month. And I am going to turn, oh, and one more thing, which is that our being able to do Sundays with Spirit depends on your donations so that we can make tithes back to the speakers and the musicians and support the staff that do all the web pages and the emails and the videos and all the different things that are components of Sundays with Spirit. So thank you for your donations and contributions to keep us going. I'm going to turn it over to kironJ for her announcements.
Thank you, Jennifer. It will indeed be an experiential class next Saturday. Please bring your books, your Course in Miracles books as well. We will be referring to the teaching, but also inviting you into a process, into a healing. And as I said just now, this healing goes very, very deep, looking at home. It's from 10 till 4 Eastern. That's the timing of it. Angela's kindly put the link in the chat. So I hope you might feel inspired to come. Yeah. And if you'd like information about my other events, then it's all on my website, kironJ.com. And there's also a contact form there if you want to reach out and about anything. And just mentioning that I lead free meditation gatherings on some Saturdays. So when I'm not leading another event, so it won't be next Saturday, I offer practicing the Holy Instant, just half-hour meditations. And it is so beautiful and so powerful. So do reach out to me if you'd like more information about them. Next one's on the 16th of March. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you. And we are going to have another song now from Jennifer. All right. Jennifer, you can start if you have any announcements you'd like to make.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. I am coming out with a new album. I'm going to release my first single in May, and the first one is Perfectly Imperfect, which I just played. So and also I wanted to offer anybody here who, if you want like if you want a download of it, I'm happy to send it to you. If you just want to send me your email, find me on Instagram, Jennifer Paskow, or Facebook, and I will send you an MP3 of the song. If not, look out in May. It's coming out May 3rd. So I'm going to sing a song. I know Jennifer shared that I work with children. I used to do classes with families and concerts. I haven't done it in a while, but it's such a gorgeous day here. And it was like really the first sign of spring. I went outside and it's like 60 degrees. I was walking. I was actually just wearing a light sweater. And after a very long winter, it feels so good. And I was thinking about what song I wanted to sing. And I wanted to share a song that I sing with families because it's so joyful, and it's called Celebrate This Day. So I hope you enjoy it and hope it feeds your inner child and your joyful spirit. Let's see. Come on, everybody, and clap your hands. Come on, everybody, and stomp your feet. Come on, everybody, and twirl around and celebrate the day with me. Celebrate this day with me. Come on, everybody, and shake, shake, shake. Come on, everybody, jump for joy. Come on, everybody, twirl around and celebrate this day with me. Celebrate this day with me. Take a breath, reach for the sky, arms open wide. Melody and harmony, just you and I, hand in hand. Come on, everybody, do a dance. Come on, everybody, jump for joy. Come on, everybody, twirl around and celebrate this day with me. Celebrate this day with me. Take a breath, reach for the sky, arms open wide. Melody and harmony, just you and I, hand in hand. Come on, everybody, clap, clap, clap. Come on, everybody, stomp your feet. Come on, everybody, twirl around and celebrate this day with me. Celebrate this day with me. Celebrate this day with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much. All right. I am going to turn it back over to Sarah to give us a prayer to take us home. And I'd just like to say thank you to Arthur, to Angela, and to everyone who's supporting us today in putting on Sundays with Spirit, especially kironJ. Dove, thank you for stopping by, and love to all.
Thank you. And we are turning over in gratitude to this day, to this message, to Jennifer Hadley, to Jennifer Paskow, to kironJ, and to this gathering, knowing that we have all been inspired. We've all heard messages of truth, that we are truly at home in heaven with God, and that as we heal, our homes here become happier and more peaceful. And we're grateful. We are grateful for our awakening. We're grateful for everything we're learning. And we are grateful for each day and for each other. And we allow it to be. And we know it is done. And so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Amen. Amen. Have a great week, everybody.